It's April 2nd, 2025. This is Zenzi. Zenzi's back here. She may have a meltdown or two. I was fussing at her. We got to make a video. We got to make our money, more money to stay alive. 6 years ago, April 1st, 2019, I discovered how to stay alive via a theory of consciousness that I didn't have actually at that point. I had to fill in what the theory of consciousness was, but I had what's commonly called a Kundalini awakening. Commonly called by who, what, it's a, you know, in the Indian tradition, but nobody other, but I bet there's a number of similar occurrences in the African tradition. And I'm about to talk to Rinpoche about that too. When I learned how to stay alive, everything I'd ever really wanted to be in the world, it made sense. The philosophy of physiology is my specialty. And I have invented an entire lexicon and done theoretical thought experiments of an Einstein caliber during this 6 years. And once I knew what I had, had to really go to books, to humans I couldn't personally have access to in any way, shape, or form. I'm just a Steel Town girl on a Wednesday evening in Pacific Grove. Windy, windy, windy evening, but oh. Douglas Abrams, won't you be my neighbor? Let me introduce you to a neighbor. We got a threesome here. Here, this redheaded philosopher comes and you're gonna be best friends because I can trust you and you can trust me because I hold myself to the standards of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and this book, The Universe in a Single Atom. We concur. I've sorted the hard problem of consciousness into an easy pivot. This is an intellectual coup for the wise feminine that I have had to steward through very nearly 4 years of homelessness. So if Zenzi, you see she's back here pacing. I mean, we can't go out in the wind. She doesn't walk very well. It's freezing. And I got work to do. Because I was almost ready to give up on a Monterey Bay. And I was reviewing in my mind that when I came to the IONS conference in 2019, after I knew what I had, I went to the Institute of Noetic Sciences and said, I got some stuff. Let's talk. Bruce Lipton, Rupert Sheldrake, Lissa Rankin, Eileen, Philosopher's Tools, tuning forks. I am the globe's original consulting philosopher of what the tuning forks taught me, the philosophical hypothesis of bio-electromagnetism. This is real applied philosophy, global thought experiments. She Einstein of consciousness. She Nikola Tesla of bio-electromagnetism. She's Socrates of life-centric thinking. That's my proprietary brand. IP. Life-centric thinking. This is billions of dollars in income streams I'm introducing you to because I was like, when I hugged Bruce Lipton, it felt like I should be in Santa Cruz. I'd actually driven to the coast. I had to drive to the bay. I couldn't really move. I'd started losing my 150 pounds that I evaporated in the 15 months after turning 50, but not very much by July because it was April, as I just told you. So I had to come through the traffic of the bay Sunday morning. And I couldn't get into the Airbnb until later. So I spent the Sunday at Santa Cruz because I figured that'd be... And, yeah, well, that's where, when I left Whidbey Island, if I hadn't had the idea to go to Pittsburgh, which was a damn fine idea. Carnegie Mellon degreed philosopher. But then I want to leave. I don't want to keep being harassed by every level of security that exists in this peninsula for sleeping because I'm ill. I'm autistic AF, and I have intense sensory overwhelm from all the poison in the world. I'm the one who's going to take the climate crisis and make it about what's causing personal chronic disease explosions and autism in our kids and everything. Plug out to my neighbor who grew up here, Ben Jealous. Never forget, our people were always free. Ben, we'll come back to in 1 second. Because the book that I found when I was ready again to just abandon Pacific Grove, I'm in the library corner and I just went and picked up a book. Ope. Now, I've read a number of Jane's books, and I think that she's really the prototype. I've not gotten anywhere near pitching anyone for real, but Jane is absolutely the comparable. She's had a, head start on me and everything. But my think tank, the Will-Being Philosophy Institute, will make clear, creative, complex, anti-racist, which is life-centric thinking, about human energy potential well-being. My wheelhouse is how consciousness, what is consciousness? How does it work? How do you, knowing how consciousness works, keep you alive through very nearly 4 years of homelessness when you are autistic AF and you can't smoke, exhaust. I can't leave the Pacific Ocean. I need the salty air. Do you all know how brains work salt? I go fritzy with the temperature that's anyhow. I need to be right here, and everyone has criminalized me, and I'm trying to make this little hamlet the birth of the philosophical evolution that launches the next scientific revolution. Bioelectromagnetism, y'all. It's how I'm actually staying alive. It's a real poetic theory. Philosophy of everything that is conscious. She's 15-year-old back here. I got some videos of how bad she been. I have reanimated this child. Not perfectly. There's always a process. Y'all want one pill for one result. There's a homeodynamic situation going on in the human body that y'all cannot account for. I can. So this is kind of the pitch to Doug. Liz, don't know which one you are. But did you open and you took wearing Tanzania? This is so perfect, Zanzibar, and my first dog was named Tanganyika. Always felt that Tanzania, even though I think my people were more in the Botswana area, San. By the way, my payroll name, because like Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I have been through with my payroll name 15 years. debhalfridge.squarespace.com. And my chosen soul name is Zenzile Londolozi. These are Zulu words that convey I am responsible for who I've become. The protector of all living beings. My neighbor Ben Jealous in here. So it had been, if I had pulled up a book of Bishop Desmond Tutu, it was like the child just checked out some books from the library. No, but he's mentioned, and Ben has talked to former head of the NAACP, current head of the Sierra Club. I can tell us how to fix global warming. 2 words. Well, y'all need a lot more explanation, but the answer is very simply 2 words. Cambrian explosion. See that right there? Right there, that's a few $1 million worth of intellectual property. Put it on a Netflix streaming deal. Oh my goodness, Mark Randolph. You want to, the child just did get to ask for the Monterey Library to messenger up me a copy of That Idea Will Never Work. The synchronicity, the way my brain is able to piece together the world, this is really crazy. So we'll bring it all back together here. Ben Jealous grew up right here where I'm sitting. He's Dave Chappelle's godfather. Brothers. His godfather's here. The joke is, of course, about Dave Chappelle's godfather, but Ben is his godbrother. Got a little bit carried away there into the... Since I watched, after that, you know, the learning how to stay alive, starting the process of evaporating 150 pounds in 15 months after turning 50, I have some things where, okay, well, what are you going to do now? I'm not just going to go back and sit in a cubicle. The secret to how to stay alive, and I'm going to just sit there, like, doing budgets? So what's wrong with y'all? Anyway. September 15th, 2019, I streamed Sticks and Stones. Dave Chappelle in that. I'm going to call it a Socratic monologue, if you don't mind. That's my brain on speech. So I've been hashtag Chappelle challenging. 1.5 years. Or is it 6? I can't do the math even. So yeah, all y'all. I have a book to write and a one-woman Socratic monologue, which I call Socratic improv, because that's what this has been. I want to teach the world to think in perfect harmony, because can entrain people into like this kind of brain state, that the art of stand-up. You know, I'm much more about the light bulbs than the laughter, but I'm getting kind of good at the laughter as well. It depends on if I know what the topic is that my audience wants. These are college lecture stand-up routines, Socratic improv. Lectures, university lectures on endocannabinoids. So there's a big, forget I said that, performance, don't forget I said that. We have to confront that everyone right now making theories of consciousness are acting like there's only one kind of conscious, this basic day-to-day, do your, you know, pay your taxes, sit in a cubicle, and always be available on these phones. Now that mindset is not even natural, but it certainly isn't the only one. And so all of these theorists I'm looking at, and nobody's mentioning even the slightest bit of altered consciousness. Altered states like performance, artistic flow, you know, composing music, performing music, improving music, etc., 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 etc. You see, you need to entrain people. You need to be demonstrating the full physicality, the embodiment associated with my monologues is also really on point. Now, it's a table read. Taj Mahal homelessness mobile studio system. That's like Tyler Perry building a studio right where he used to be homeless. I'm trying to give a lot of well-being to this community. Cocoon up this place. There's a Ron Howard tangent, but we won't go there. No, we will go there. I wrote the movie Landalozzi. That's in this process of 6 years ago. So before I ended up to Chappelle, I write a movie, and it's a great movie. Landalozzi is the title. A real place in South Africa. Or Nelson Mandela, one of your other authors, went, after he got out of Robben Island, he went into nature before assuming the presidency. I mean, other things. I know from the owners of Londolozi that he was there. Nothing more. No. And then when I went to South Africa, Madiba was in Paris for Bastille Day. Them's the breaks, child. You got to go back to Africa because this has been Zenzi. This is sincerely about pitching you my book, Placebo Power to the People. Is how you stay alive. Harmony.